Hello, welcome to the Queue. It's another episode of Invasion Normandy. And in this one, we're going to look at a concept from the Hex Encounter games and some tabletop games like Flames of War. Trying to think of some others, Companies of Hero, or Companies of Heroes. Um, in the Hex Encounter games, it's more of a platoon or squad level type game like this one here. Squad Leader, one of my absolute favorites, and probably the most I've played back in the day. Um, Matter of fact, I might have to stop this weekend and give it a play this weekend. Just pulling it out of the boxes and looking at it, it's bringing back lots of fond memories. So what we have here is the Germans hold the airfield, a couple infantry units, and there's a Tiger. Um, there are some Russian T-34s on the road coming in to try and take the airfield back. But what they don't know is that there's an 88 here in the woods, and as they come down the road to engage the airfield units, um, they have to stop when they get in the line of fire from that 88, and then that's what your opportunity fire is. So while they have movement left to continue on this battle, they have to first survive the attack from that 88, and that's the concept of opportunity fire. And there's many different kinds in this game and other games. Whether it's certain units, like if this heavy machine gun unit here, if this was infantry, then they would get an opportunity fire. So, but not against the armor. That's why the anti-tank gun does. So that's the concept from those games. And you might not have any clue what opportunity fire is, playing these Axis and Allies global war type games, because it doesn't exist. So it does here, and we're going to give you three examples. The example that happens the most, well, the one that happens the most is the French resistance. They'll be stationed by the Allied player in these orange towns. Now, this town has two orange squares, so they could put it here where the rail was, or they could put it on that roadway juncture, either way. A town like down here called Kutens just as one, so that's the only spot you can put it. So here they've got that, which you want it on the railway because these units are going to try and rail up to the front. Well, as they come through, they face the opportunity fire from this French resistance, and you roll them separate. Like the two infantry, you can roll 2 dice. A 1 is a kill. 2 to 3, the units have to stop. 4 through 11, they can proceed on to the front lines. And then a 12, they eliminate the French resistance. And then, of course, these two units, they get to go on through. But if they don't, if it's not eliminated, then we roll 1 dice for the tank, then we'll roll 1 dice for the mech to see if they pass through. And that's your opportunity fire for the Allies. For the Germans, they have 2 different types of opportunity fire, and this is probably their most that's going to happen throughout the game, and it's called these hedgerows. And when you pass a hedgerow, that's when the Germans get their, basically it's like a sneak attack. The Allies don't get to fire back, but it doesn't matter what the units are. See, I got an artillery, Tiger tank, and infantry. They all roll at 2. So 3 units, 2 dice, 3 dice at 2, 2 units, 2 dice at 2. And so these units here, the infantry can only move 1, so that's the extent there. So these mechanized, 2 tanks and mechanized infantry will move in there, roll the 3 dice. Any 2s that are rolled, the Allied player will get to choose, say if they roll 1, 2, obviously you're going to take that infantry, and that's the casualty. Well, then they move on to this second hex that has the hedgerow, and then you can roll the two dice at that. Now, another option too would be, if they're continuing on, you could ignore this hex because this hedgerow is on this side as well. So you can have 5 dice at these 3 armored vehicles, which is a much better choice because you don't really care about killing that infantry, but destroying one of those vehicles, that's a pretty good deal. So that's opportunity fire for the German units. The last opportunity fire would be these mines, and you have 3 anti-personnel, 3 tanks or vehicle type mines. So basically on the road, and the next video I'm going to do is about movement in the game. And the roads give you a bonus. So if you stay on the road, this infantry that can move 1 actually can move 2 if it follows that road. But if it moves into a zone that has the anti-personnel mines, it has to stop. The dice roll occurs to see if that unit is destroyed. Now, the chance isn't very good, but it does stop the unit, which is more important for these anti-vehicle mines, because say this victory hex was open and this tank here was going to come down this road and go into there, that would be movement of 1.5 because it gets to move 2, but it can't get there because there's anti-personnel mines or anti-tank mines, so you'll roll that. So that is another form of opportunity fire that takes place. It's actually the defensive fire that takes place during the attacker's movement phase. And like I said, I'll do the next video will be on the movement in this game, because the Germans move a lot differently than the Allies. Both their attacking and non-combat move phase are completely different. So we'll look at that in the next video. So thanks for watching.